Go.
Welcome, everyone. This is a presentation by the Fayette County Public Schools for Family University regarding Special Education 101. Let me begin by first introducing myself. My name is Adam Lichty. I am one of the Associate Directors of Special Education, and I am joined today by one of my esteemed colleagues,
Shannon Deep, and I am the Preschool Special Education Resource Specialist.
Again, welcome, everyone. We value you and welcome you here today. Thanks to all the parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, and guardians who have taken time out of your day to join us. Today, our goal is to share information with you regarding special education services, specifically related to Child Find, and if you are concerned about your child's development, what steps you should take and expect. So as indicated on the slide, we will cover all of these points in detail as we move forward through our presentation.
Let's look at child development starting at birth. Children and youth grow and develop in a continuum, meaning not all children and youth develop the same skills in exactly the same time and in the same way. Here is a great resource from the CDC called the Milestone Tracker. This resource gives you some basic information about developmental milestones. The Milestone Tracker has a developmental checklist, resources for parents, and it's also free in the App Store. The link is also available here below. Now let's look at some possible developmental concerns. In particular, looking at developmental delays that are beyond what is expected for typically developing children. So when looking at the typical skill range, like as part of the CDC Milestone Tracker, we talked about earlier, and remembering that growth and development is not uniform and that all children are different. Think about if your child is far below what is typically expected for their age. Also think about if the delay is in acquiring skills that are unresponsive or show limited response to intervention when compared to others at their age. For example, if your child initially struggles when learning their ABCs and the rest of their peers have mastered the skill and are moving on to other more sophisticated skills, you try some interventions like modeling for them, putting it in a song, showing them visuals, offering some reinforcement, and then they learn the skill. That means they were responsive to the interventions. If after those interventions your child continues to struggle, and not showing progress in learning the skill, there may be a possible delay in that skill. So if you think that your child may have a delay, here are some steps to take. For a preschool child, which are children that are 3, 4, and 5, if their birthday is before August 1st, after August 1st, call our preschool center at 859-381-4080 and request a screening. And let us know if you have any existing diagnoses or are currently receiving private therapies. The preschool team will contact you for individualized next steps.
Now I want to speak about if your child is between the ages of, or grades between kindergarten and 12th grade. Here are some steps that you can take if you are concerned about your child. You can request a meeting with the building MTSS lead and your child's teacher or teachers. During that meeting, you can discuss your concerns and ask about data and interventions. You can also ask some questions like, is your child receiving interventions through an intervention teacher? Is your child responding positively to an intervention? And if the answer is no, then a referral for special education can be initiated by you, the parent, by your child's teacher or teachers, or any other provider that works either within Fayette County Public Schools or outside of our school district. As mentioned on the previous slide, as a parent, you can make a referral for an evaluation. To make a referral, speak with the MTSS lead as well as the Achievement and Compliance Coach, often referred to as the ACC, who helps facilitate the special education process in each school building throughout Fayette County Public Schools. If you need additional support, feel free to call our central office phone number, and the contact information is provided to you on the slide. That is 859-381-4171. Multi-tiered systems of support, or sometimes referred to as response to intervention, RTI, is a process that provides high-quality, research-based instruction targeted to each learner's needs. Needs are identified by monitoring students' progress and response to instruction or intervention. MTSS provides high-quality, standards-based instruction and intervention that is matched to the student's academic, social, and behavioral needs.
Now let's look at the MTSS process for preschool. So during the screening and pre-referral process, families are provided with an individualized response to intervention packet. The packet contains targeted research-based strategies to implement at home, along with a parent-friendly guided way to document their response to the strategies.
Ms. Deep and I have been discussing MTSS now over the past few slides. Another way to describe MTSS is that it's a framework for systematically using data and problem solving to allocate educational resources to improve learning for all students. MTSS is a very important component, and that is why there has been so much emphasis on discussing it. To dig a little bit deeper regarding MTSS, in each school building, there is a structure to support MTSS. This is referred to as a tiered system of intervention. You see that there are 3 tiers. Tier 1 includes the general education classroom. Tier 2 and Tier 3 are generally provided in small group instruction. As previously noted, part of the MTSS process includes reviewing data frequently and using that data to make instructional decisions. MTSS is a support for children that have difficulty with academics, behavior, and social emotional functioning, etc. Here is a depiction of the tiered levels of support. As you can see in the depiction, Tier 1 is intended for all children. Most children respond to intervention and instruction through general education programming. A smaller percentage then requires Tier 2, and an even smaller percentage would require the support of Tier 3 intervention. Fayette County Public Schools and all public schools are guided by federal and state regulations. Child Find is the regulation that guides districts for the special education evaluation process and identifying children for special education services. As described previously, interventions are a critically important part of the process, and that is included as part of the Child Find regulation. Data-based documentation is also a requirement of the Child Find regulation as part of the instructional process. Data is used to determine if your child needs more intensive interventions or potentially needs to be referred for a special education evaluation. And after a period of time in interventions and data collection, your child may be referred for a special education evaluation to determine if your child child's needs if your child needs special education services.
So what do parents need to know? Here is a summary of the procedural safeguards. Teachers, administrators, and parents' participation is important. Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, is a piece of legislation that ensures students with a disability are provided with a free and appropriate public education that is tailored to their individual needs. The term parents' rights and procedural safeguards are one and the same. Education works best when all parts are working together. Let's look at parents' rights in Kentucky. Parents have the right to be an active participant, receive prior written notice of meetings, and parents have the right to give or refuse consent for evaluation and services. Parents also have the right to have non-discriminatory assessments and independent education evaluations or assessments for their child. Parents have access to their children's educational records, and if there were to be a disagreement about placement for your child, they would stay put or stay in the current placement until resolved. Also, in the case of a disagreement, the parent has the right to be given a hearing regarding the disagreement about the IEP. It is referred to as a due process hearing. The parent also has a right to participate in a resolution session, receive mediation, and file a complaint against the school system. Parents also have the right to be informed of school discipline and alternative placement and be informed of policies regarding children who attend private schools.
Once it is determined that your child is not responding to interventions in instruction, either at your request, a school professional request, or at any other individual's request, an ARC will be held to discuss a referral for evaluation and will be used to guide the committee in discussion about areas to evaluate. Your written permission as a parent must be obtained prior to any evaluation being conducted with your child. Once you provide written permission, the school district has 60 school days to complete the evaluation and then review results with you. Evaluations may be conducted in a wide range of areas, but some areas of development include cognition, academics, social emotional, communication, and adaptive functioning. This particular slide depicts that in Kentucky, there are 14 areas of eligibility that a student may qualify for. The 14 different areas of eligibility are listed before you. At the conclusion of an evaluation, the ARC team will reconvene. At this meeting, you as the parent can expect to receive information regarding the evaluation that was conducted, discuss if your child meets any of the 14 areas of eligibility for special education services, and if determined that your child is eligible for services, an individual education plan or IEP will be written. IEPs include discussions on multiple components, including present levels of performance, annual goals and objectives, specially designed instruction, supplementary aids and services, least restrictive environment, and time for service delivery. Each of these components is a reflection of your child's relative strengths and weaknesses. Once an IEP is agreed upon by the Admissions and Release Committee, the ARC, your child will begin receiving specially designed instruction to support their educational needs. Fayette County Public Schools is so fortunate to have many resources to help support you as the parent or guardian in working through any concerns that you may have regarding your child. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to the Director of Special Education, the Associate Directors, or other district support staff.
Thank you. And we are a team, and together we win. Here's our contact information if you need to contact us. So that's Fayette County Public Schools Special Education Department at 450 Park Place. And that's in Lexington with the phone number of 859-381-4171. Thank you.